Today I'm going to talk about 5 micro habits for happiness and success based on Hadith and backed by science. The first micro habit, remember to smile. We all know the Hadith that smile is a form of charity. No doubt a smiley face makes everyone else happy, but how does it make you happy? A classical experiment suggests that there's a strong connection between our facials and our mood. This study was conducted by Strack, Martin and Stepper in 1988. College students were recruited and they were divided into 3 groups. One was a standard group, the controlled group. The second group is the pen in mouth group. This group had a pen in their mouth which forced them to smile. The third group was pen in lips. This group had a pen in their lips which forced them not to smile, either frown or stay neutral. All of these 3 groups then watched cartoons and they rated the cartoons. The standard group rated them as normal. As for the second group, who was forced to smile throughout watching the cartoon, found the cartoons more funnier than the other 2 groups and overall enjoyed the experience more. As for the third group, who was forced not to smile, be neutral or frown, they had the least enjoyable experience of the cartoon. This study provides experimental evidence for the facial feedback hypothesis, suggesting that smiling can improve mood and make experiences more enjoyable. Even though you are not consciously trying to improve your mood, but facial expressions which are associated with positive emotions like smiling can lead to emotional change and make you feel more happier and have a more better experience. The next micro habit, it's for introverts like myself, all of those people who have social anxiety, and this is a micro habit I'm actually working on myself. So this micro habit is break the ice with kindness. So when we have social anxiety, it's because we're focusing too much on ourselves and we want to change that mind shift and not focus too much on ourselves. And the best way to do that is to do a small act of kindness with others to have some sort of connection. So maybe offer them some help or just ask them how's your day going or just compliment them. So when you are doing these small acts of kindness, there's a mind shift away from your anxiety and your self-consciousness onto others, and it's going to make you feel relaxed. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the most beloved people to Allah are those who are most beneficial to people. The most beloved deed to Allah is to make a Muslim happy or to remove one of his troubles. Let me give you the scientific evidence for that. So there was a study conducted by the University of British Columbia in Canada. In that study, there were 3 groups of students. And all of these students had social anxiety like many of us. So obviously there was a controlled group. And the second group, they were basically a group of students who were given tasks where they had to go and interact with others. And these were small tasks, like they had to go and ask someone, what's the time? Or they had to go and chat to a neighbor. But all of these small tasks were all about communicating and interacting with others. As for the third group, they were just given a list of small, kind acts they had to do. So the end results of this study were actually quite interesting. The second group of students, who actually forced themselves to just get out of the little bubble and go and interact with others, definitely felt reduced level of anxiety. But interestingly, the third group, the group who were doing small, kind acts to others, also felt the same. They felt less social anxiety. Why does this work? Because kindness breaks down the fear of judgment. When you initiate connection, it makes others feel safe, and in return, you feel more connected and less anxious. My next micro habit, shift your self-talk to possibility. Replace I can't with why not me at least once a day. This is a mindset level micro habit. So whenever those limiting thoughts creep in, for example, she can go into that university, I can't. Replace that thought with, why not me? Or he or she can get married to that person, I can't. Again, why not me? He can get that job, I can't. No, we're going to replace that with, why not me? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you were to rely upon Allah with the reliance He is due, you would be given provision like the birds. They go out in the morning with empty stomachs and return full. This hadith shows the balance. Trust in Allah whilst taking action. The birds don't sit in their nests waiting for food. They leave early, they strive to find food, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them food, and when they return, they have been provided for. Albert Bandura's research shows that believing in your ability to succeed, self-efficacy increases your motivation, effort, and resilience. People who tell themselves, "Why not me?" are more likely to take action and succeed even when facing setbacks. Another relevant finding on cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, focuses on identifying and replacing negative self-talk. So reframing "I can't" with "I can" or "why not me," it's going to reduce your anxiety and build your confidence over time. The next micro habit: try to maintain good posture at least few times a day so you can get into the habit. Now, there isn't one specific hadith on how to sit or stand, but there are many narrations generally indicating towards having a good posture. Did you know when Rasulullah ﷺ, he went from Medina to Mecca to perform Umrah, the pagans of Mecca, they said, "You know all these Muslims from Medina, they've all got the fever of Medina." So basically the weather of Medina didn't really suit most of the migrants of Mecca. They used to get fever. And the pagans were happy, like, they are all weak. So Rasulullah ﷺ said to the Sahaba, in the first 3 rounds, we are going to do Ramal. We are going to walk briskly. And the idea was to show the pagans of Mecca that the Muslims have strength and dignity. So the way we sit or stand or walk, it indicates our dignity and our strength. As we have already discussed, that science supports the connection between our facial expressions and our emotions. But does science also support the connection between self-esteem and our body posture? In a health psychology article in 2015, Shweta Nair and others, they actually write about an experiment where there were 74 participants. Half of these participants had to sit in an upright position, in a good posture, and half of them, more slouched, head down, sat down in that kind of posture. And throughout the experiment, they were assessed, based on different things. And the end result was those who sat in an upright position, they felt confident, they had better self-esteem, and they felt good. As for those who were in the slouched, head-down positions, they felt sad, they felt tired, and their self-esteem also ranked low. So it's quite evident that the way we sit, stand, or walk, it affects our self-esteem and how we feel about ourselves. So let me tell you one of my personal experience. When I used to be in uni, there was this one lesson, a lady came in, she was an instructor who was kind of teaching us on body posture. And I remember I was laying down, it was like a task we had to do. And I didn't realize, but my shoulders were so stiff, like really hard. And she came and she touched my shoulders and told me to relax. And as soon as I relaxed my shoulders, I felt like all of that stress that was just unknowingly there, just because of my body posture, it's just like that stress was just reduced, it was just kind of gone. And that's when I realized for the first time that the way we even lay down, we can put so much stress on certain parts of our body. And it's really important to understand the importance of good body posture. The next micro habit: practice at least one kind act a day. It will make you happy and beautify your character. Rasulullah ﷺ said, kindness is not to be found in anything, but it adds to its beauty, and it is not withdrawn from anything, but it makes it defective. So there was a research conducted by the University of California, Riverside. In this research, they experimented some people in office environment, and there were like 3 groups. One group, they were going to do kind acts to others for 4 weeks, and these were just going to be small kind acts, like just sending a thank you email, or just offering someone, to make tea for them, or just cheering up a colleague, like really easy, simple kind acts. The second group was going to be the receivers of these kind acts, and the third one, they were just a controlled group. After 4 weeks, they found out that the group who were doing the kind acts overall felt more satisfied with work and life compared to the other groups. But also interestingly, they found out that the group who were actually on the receiving end, who used to receive the kind acts and they just had to note them down, they found out that after 4 weeks, this group actually increased in doing kind acts to others themselves. So kindness, it's kind of also contagious. But for sure we know when we do something kind, our overall satisfaction with life increases, and that obviously makes us more happy. So in short, if we can incorporate these 5 micro habits in our life, we will be more happier, have more self-esteem, and feel confident, and reduce our stress and anxiety. If you like my content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.